pretty meaty sink.
We're all on the same page.
Don't get near that sink if you're a vegan, because it was hella meaty.
Yeah.
I've been awake since 3 a.m.
Jesus.
I was going to say that one was pretty funny.
Yay!
You did it, Lucas.
And just for the podcast listeners, that means he's been awake for what?
15 hours.
That's pretty normal.
I mean, like...
Yeah, but now you would go to bed. not start
like an
the
hour.
podcast.
Okay, I've been up since 3 a.m. on, like, 4 hours of sleep, because that's what 7 a.m. flight life is like.
Hashtag flight life.
Yeah, jeez. We're going to start complaining about all the planes that we take and all the, the trips and all that stuff.
Business class is so trashy.
Every other podcast ever complaining about air travel.
My company gave me $100 Uber credit for the trip, but I prefer Lyft.
My business trip in a couple of weeks is going to be at the Cosmo, and they won't pay for my extended stay. I'll have to slum it up at the Sahara for the rest of the trip.
The company covers all Uber charges, but they will not cover Uber Black. And at LAX, that means I have to go to LA Exit instead of getting picked up right from the terminal. Yeah. That's actually probably been said verbatim with the new LA system.
I've never been to LAX, but the status of worst airport is hoisted upon it pretty frequently, from my understanding.
Yeah, it's not great. Definitely not great.
But you know what will be great?
Tell us, Lucas.
I was trying to think of something funny. I couldn't.
That's right. Episode 80 of the Voluntary Viewing Podcast, coming at you live on Monday, January 20th, 2020. Today on the podcast, we have a man who braved the elements to rescue his significant other because she brought him lunch today. Andrew Clark.
Is that the only reason why?
If she wouldn't have brought me that lunch today, she would still be out in that snowdrift.
She'd be flagging down random passerby, trying to desperately get home.
I am your white knight as long as you cook me food. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The implications here.
Yeah. Ooh, boy.
I would have gone out and saved her, even if she did not bring me food today.
Wow.
I know.
Claps
right?
in the chat, man.
Heck a boyfriend right there.
Yeah. Hashtag couple goals. Not a cringe.
Also,
I was just gonna say, let's transition from misogyny to just this fucking state, just Wisconsin, and how it can eat literally every dick that lives in Wisconsin.
I seem to recall a oh god, what would your guys' couple name be? And Dade? Jandrew. Yeah, Jandrew's too boring.
That's what they have been, or were in all of college.
There's way too much Andrew.
I mean,
and that couple name.
My suggestion for our couple name was AIDS. Spelled with 2 A's at the beginning. So,
all right, I say we go with AIDS for now. Yep. And I'm gonna say I seem to recall a plan of AIDS it. I guess, or AIDS it. Oh god, I think I'm gonna summon a demon pretty quick here.
Keep going, you're almost there. You almost got it.
It's exit to sunnier location. But that seems to have fallen to the wayside.
Yeah.
Alas.
I reconsider every winter. I reconsider every winter.
Yeah.
But the summers
don't
are so
reconsider.
nice.
I don't reconsider any time of year, so maybe.
Also on the podcast today, we have a man who has forgotten every word he used to know for snow. Ryan Holtz. I'm sorry, had to get in there somewhere. You guys kept setting me up. I didn't want to miss it.
Kept tearing it down. Yeah, no.
Guys, shut up. I'm about to do a bit.
It was about, it was a chilly 65 today.
Ooh.
I definitely saw some people wearing pants.
I hate you.
Well, you could be me.
There's only one Ryan Holtz.
Unless a network ever picks up that spec script.
Oh, yeah, that one. We don't talk about that one. It's a little out of date, Lucas. It would need some updating.
A little bit. I'm Lucas, by the way. Lucas the writer. Hello. I said Florida man for Ryan last week, but I too was in Florida until 9 a.m. local time.
It's a good time.
I had a blast. It was nice.
And then you flew back to the Midwest, flew back home from Florida.
Yeah.
You know, it probably wasn't easy. You know, flying out of Florida is never easy. Flying to O'Hare is never easy either. But it was probably easier than if you would have had to leave Florida with a glass case with the severed head of Sucky Badger.
Jesus Christ. Also,
right into
I like to call that the Midwest Continental Walk of Shame. The trudge back from Florida in the middle of the winter, just like, fuck everything.
Ryan, I don't even know where to begin on this one.
Wait, I do know where to begin.
Yeah. With what the fuck happened?
No. I just sent you something. I need you to look at it.
Oh, God. Is this on my phone? Are we a multimedia podcast now?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was all the enthusiasm I could muster, Andrew.
Lucas, I just sent Ryan a picture of him sitting on his couch, opening up the Sucky Badger case, the trophy case, and his mom forcing him to say, "Thanks, Andrew."
Your mom is amazing, Ryan.
Your mom is amazing. Your mom is so nice.
She's a very, very nice person. I don't know where this fucking idea came from.
So, have I got a story for you?
Oh, God.
If you're listening, Mrs. Holtz, you are just salt of the earth, just a wonderful woman. You were so nice to me when you came and visited and took Sucky Badger off my hands. You brought me a peanut butter pie that was really, really delicious. You were so nice. Your dad was there too. It was just a great experience. It made my day. But a couple days before that, I got a message, and Lucas got the same one because I think she was reaching out to both to see who could help the most. But a message basically saying that she listened to the podcast, the episode where we talked about Sucky Badger, and she really wanted to just get a picture of Sucky Badger in my trunk so that she could put it on a plaque and say, "Rip Sucky Badger." I'm like, that sounds hilarious. Yeah, and I sent her a picture, and a couple days later, she's like, actually,
Oh, God.
what if I just took Sucky Badger off your hands and put it in a glass case and forced Ryan to keep it? I'm like, that would be wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, my wildest dream was coming true in front of my eyes. So she stopped by my work one day at lunch, and she invited me out to lunch with your dad, and I really wanted to, but I had to take care of some meetings during my lunch hour, and I just wasn't able to get out of the office for more than a few minutes. But she drove to my work, went down, I got it out of my trunk, gave it to her. She gave me the pie. It was great. She showed me what the finished product looks like.
Oh my god,
And
yes.
just a couple of days ago, she actually sent me the videos of you opening it up and the utter terror on your face.
Okay. Ryan, describe that moment. Describe what I'm sure was a rapid fire series of emotions.
I had no idea. Apparently, my father, brother, and sister had all been working this glass epoxy case together, like under my nose, the entire time while we were in Florida. And I just opened it up and saw a glass case. I'm like, oh, maybe it's like a Packer memorabilia thing. Just fucking lo and behold, this smashed up piece of shit paper mache head. All I can see is the top, and it's very concave. There have been multiple piercings of the skull. Let's just say. We know it's cause of death.
I see that they had to like rip off the nose.
Oh yeah. The cause of death was not a blunt force trauma incident. It was definitely caused by multiple stab wounds. It was leaking like bits of paper mache everywhere, even inside the glass box. I didn't know what to say. I was just like, I don't really want this, but like I know how much effort multiple people went through to get it, so thank you. And then I had to check a giant suitcase that I then proceeded to like get rid of, because it's like the sacrificial suitcase with which to carry that amongst other things. And one of the weirdest gifts I've ever gotten, if not the weirdest.
It takes a village. It really does.
Yeah.
There's just so many people involved.
It takes a village to raise the dead.
Has any furniture started levitating since it was brought in?
Yeah, now that you do mention it, it is significantly colder in that area of the apartment.
Where is it? You gotta send me a picture.
Yeah, you've been to our apartment.
Yeah.
Basically, it's on the tiny little counter next to the kitchen, just permanently like shoved up against the wall. I'm not putting it in my fucking room, like, no matter what happens.
No, I want it out as public as possible.
Yeah, and it's not going. We don't have any more space left on our TV display, so I'm like, this is where it's fucking going. Shoved all the way up against the wall on this little tiny mini corner of the counter.
I cannot wait for you and Ian to throw a party or something, or one or both of you brings a girl over, and that is immediately what they hone in on when they enter your apartment for the first time.
It'd be a good story, honestly.
I think
it's relatively charming, and I wouldn't want to get rid of it. That's for sure.
It is honestly like one of the most fun things that has happened to me in a while.
Oh my god!
when your mom sent me those pictures and the videos, I just broke down laughing at work.
Yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. I love how all of you ignored the context of our conversation, where I was pretty blatantly anti-Sucky Badger. I'm like, throw it in the trash, Andrew.
No, that's why we got it to you. We knew you hated it. That was the whole point. It was the whole point.
Oh man, I should have known. I thought it would be cute sitting on our apartment mantle, junior year of college. I go off to Los Angeles, so therefore I can't participate in the move out, and my mistake was not destroying it when I had the chance.
You should have burned
Now it's too powerful. It's grown too powerful, I fear.
The evil has grown.
It's become attached to this home.
Yeah.
And all who live there.
This is basically Little Shop of Horrors. I had a chance to stomp it out when it was just a little bud. And now it's a full-grown man-eater, and there's nothing I can do.
Feed me, Ryan.
Jesus Christ. I I'm not above throwing it out if it does become overtly haunted. If there are overt paranormal happenings, I'm sorry, guys. Your effort will be for naught.
Ryan breaks out the silver and the salt.
Yeah. The holy water. I'm not afraid to get the Vatican involved.
7 sacred daggers.
Holy shit, it's the Catholics.
Yeah. So that was the story of Sucky Badger. May he rest in peace on my countertop.
And that will take us into news of the week.
What's going on in the real world that isn't transporting sever papered mache mascot heads?
Oh, nothing.
Couple.
Yeah, nothing really.
Well, today a bunch of dudes cosplaying as soldiers started marching around the Virginia Capitol building.
Hot reference.
Happy MLK Day. Bunch of dudes with guns walking around.
I mean, yes, it was technically cosplay in that they are not soldiers, but those were also real weapons and military gear. So...
Well, yeah, you gotta dedicate yourself to the outfit, Lucas.
Yeah, come on, man. Don't be a pansy. Cosplaying is real shit.
You make your own chainmail, you forge your own weapons,
Yeah.
you load up your own semi-automatic assault rifle with your high-powered rounds.
Hey, look on the bright side, guys. The last time this happened, the Black Panthers marched on the California State Assembly, and
gun control was
gun
passed.
Control was enacted.
You're missing,
so that's what's going to happen this time, right?
You're missing one key detail, Ryan.
No, I don't think I'm missing anything.
I'm not going to tell you what it is,
No.
but if you can figure it out, 10 points to Gryffindor.
Dude, give it a couple days. We're going to have some sensible gun control laws passed.
Oh, I'm sure.
Can't wait.
Even though the
Are
governor...
we cutting all that?
I'm gonna debate on it, but
Lucas is gonna mull that one over.
before then, we should probably acknowledge that E3 had a couple more nails pounded into the coffin when Sony announced that they would not be attending E3 2020, even though the PlayStation 5 is coming out this year.
Guys, is our podcast gonna outlive E3?
I think it's about to.
Yeah.
Does it count as outliving if you started 12 years into its cycle?
Well, yeah, but I remember one of our first episodes, episode 3 or something, was an E3 recap, and it'd be kind of strange to have it go away. Something that was so
one of the core tenets
central.
of the podcast.
Yeah, talking about E3 news.
The E3 recap, the mandatory viewing.
Oh God.
I guess.
Classic.
Oh God, I forgot about mandatory viewing.
The drunk.
How did you forget about that?
The drunk cast, guys. Remember the drunk cast?
Episode 21, dude.
I was still on my old computer back then, and
yeah, you were, and it ruined it.
It absolutely did ruin it.
Ruined the drunk cast.
I not only ruined my counter by spilling screwdrivers everywhere, but I ruined the whole podcast.
What's another good date for Drunk Cast Part 2? Electric Boogaloo.
What are you guys doing this weekend?
Could we do the average lifespan? Of a human being on planet Earth? Wait, no, that might be more than 80. Maybe in the United States.
Okay.
Average lifespan US.
No, that's 76. We're past that point.
Yeah. We need a better country.
Do we want to do a centennial, 100 even?
I was gonna say maybe we can just average out the lifespan in the developing world.
We would have done that a long time ago.
Just all of, no, sorry, not developing, developed world. So all the GATT countries.
That would still be probably lower than 80.
Oh yeah.
We could do Canada. Canada's 82.
Ooh.
Episode 82. Oh. Happy death celebration.
It
Well, that would
makes
sound like the
perfect
podcast
sense.
is going away.
Celebrating the 82nd episode of Voluntary Viewing, you all guessed it, the Drunk Cast. Because that's how old you'll live if you're in Canada.
That's how, it's the death episode. If 21 was, I don't know, the drinking age or something. I don't fucking know, man.
I don't know. I think, well, it is a little bit of a bummer that E3 is dying. On the other hand, it hasn't been great for a while, and the ESA had leaked a bunch of journalists' information the past 2 years, and it sucks that there's like now one less big event to celebrate a hobby that I engage in, but also this is what happens when you suck for so hard for so long.
Yeah, man. You want to give it a eulogy?
E3, you were great. I really enjoyed following you religiously from like ages 17 to 23. I know that as I know you, you will no longer cease to be, but E3-2, I hope you're able to find some kind of success getting the Lakers to play NBA 2K 2020 for an event and, like, activating a bunch of people, as a lot of your press conferences have put out, and I have fun, ESA, getting a class action lawsuit lobbied against you, because holy fuck. What are you doing doxing hundreds of journalists?
This is the part where the drunk son at the funeral just kind of goes off about how his dad wasn't ever there for him, and yeah.
You guys want to hear the Google blurb for United States? Nothing to do with previous news.
Do it.
It's just super weird. The U.S., already abbreviating it, which is, I don't know if that's what you do anyway, is a country of 50 states covering a vast swath of North America, with Alaska in the northwest and Hawaii extending the nation's presence into the Pacific Ocean.
Jesus.
That's the first sentence. Like, they're talking about Alaska and Hawaii immediately. They're like, here we go. And then we go to the second sentence, which is a long one. Major Atlantic coast cities are New York, a global finance and culture center, and capital Washington, D.C. Midwestern metropolis Chicago is known for influential architecture, and on the West Coast, Los Angeles, Hollywood is famous for filmmaking.
I remember seeing this a long time ago and thinking, that's a weird way to describe the United States.
How the fuck is that how you describe the U.S.?
In the U.S., you got North America, Alaska, Hawaii,
the ocean.
And then, you got things like New York, the capital, the architecture of Chicago, and the filmmaking of Hollywood.
And that's the country.
New York, a global finance and culture center. I mean that is literally what it's known for, but
it's just, yeah. I don't know, man.
Fuck Boston, I guess.
Yeah, fuck Boston. What about
Boston? Yeah,
Lucas?
fuck Boston.
Fuck Seattle.
Yeah,
fuck Seattle.
Fuck Austin and Dallas, Texas.
Okay, Dallas maybe should be in there. All the ones up until Dallas, fuck them. This is a one-paragraph summary of the country. We can't get into, I don't know. No, I was about to say a Honduran city. What the? We can't get into. Wow, why can't I come up with a random city? We can't get into Reno, Nevada, in this one-paragraph summary of the country as a whole. But
I'm surprised I didn't say something. And in Florida, Disney World.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I mean, are there a bunch of Disney Worlds though? Or are they all are they globally branded as Disneyland and then whatever nation?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Disney's an international conglomerate.
Oh,
wait, is that allowed?
Jade just texted me, "I love Boston," by the way.
Ah.
You guys gonna move to Boston?
No,
That's not
she said,
fix any
I
of your
don't know what you're
problems."
talking about. It's a great city.
Ah,
I
sounds
enjoyed
like you're
it.
going to Boston next.
The official stance of the Voluntary Viewing Podcast, fuck Boston.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it my senior year of high school on a band trip there, but if that's the direction the podcast is going in, I'm here to support it. Fuck Boston.
Yeah. We have spoken. Fuck Boston. And as everyone knows, it only takes a 2/3 majority on this podcast to completely dominate all discourse.
We're going to do a voluntary viewing like top 10 states or top 10 cities. Lucas just like, Chicago's definitely up there, and we're like, fuck Chicago. No.
Yeah, dude, that's Chicago shit. Are you kidding me?
Am I going to have to change the description of this podcast on Reddit from entertainment, blah, 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 to, hey, do you like Watch Mojo ranking stuff? Well, we basically do that, except over the course of an hour and a half.
And it's a prisoner's dilemma.
Yeah. And no one can see the list that we're talking about,
yeah,
so
we're
we sometimes
referencing
probably don't describe it
a
perfectly.
document that's in front of us very heavily. No one can see it.
Oh, man.
Flaws.
So we might also skim over this next news point by 2/3 majority, but Blythe from Fire Emblem Three Houses, aka Weeb Shit, according to our 2019 top 10s, will be in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Fucking Waluigi, still not...
He's an assist
I'm
trophy.
waiting.
That doesn't count.
No!
That's
that
not a
doesn't count
player.
at all. Everyone's an assist trophy.
You're an
Okay.
assist trophy, Lucas.
Yeah.
Is Sans in Smash as a Mii Gunner costume?
Wait, hold on. What?
So, you know, like the Mii Fighter, Mii Swordsman, Mii Gunner characters?
Yes.
Like, there are different costumes for them.
Yes.
Some of them come out as DLC that you can download, and one of them
Yes.
for the Mii Gunner is Sans from Undertale.
Yeah. So what was your question?
Does that mean Sans is in Smash?
No.
Oh. Oh.
Does it to you?
Yeah!
Is that what Sans does in Undertale? He just like shoots a
gun.
Mii Gunner gun at people?
I kinda. Also, like, they put Megalovania in there too, so I think that's like, yeah, that's the character.
That's all Sans is to you.
I mean,
Wow.
maybe some bad puns too, but I don't know.
Yeah. Did it go... or no?
It did not, from my understanding.
Well, I don't think that he's in Smash.
Okay.
I feel like
Hey,
you're
my
lying.
Sans impression. Pulled that one out of my ass. I've never done that before in my life. Surprised it came out as well as it did.
Props.
What's this? More weeb shit?
There's now a trailer for the sequel to HuniePop. It is HuniePop 2 Double Date, which means that we have a new Patreon goal. If we can get to $100 a month, the members of this podcast will do a Let's Play of HuniePop 2 to completion. What does that mean in this context? Get us to $100 and you'll find out.
Well, have fun with that, Lucas and Ryan. I already dibs out of this.
Wow. I don't think you can dibs out of this, Andrew.
I'm watching.
Sounds like we were volunteered.
I'm skimming through the trailer right now that Lucas linked on Silent, and I hate it.
You've never heard of HuniePop?
No. I know what it is, but I just...
So why does this trailer surprise you?
it doesn't surprise me. It just reinforces. Have you ever, like, had a food that your mom made when you were a kid that you didn't like, but you had to eat it anyway because everybody was going to eat it? The next time that you also eat that meal isn't like, oh, wow, now my opinion is set. I don't like this. No, it just makes it worse.
But then someone says, we'll give you $500 a month or whatever to eat that thing, and you're going to eat that thing, Andrew. That's how this shit works.
No, this game is just another version of my mom's roast beef.
Wow.
Jeez. Wait, that actually could be taken way out of context.
No, Ryan,
yeah.
no.
Hold on. No.
This is not okay. I'm still watching this trailer. This is not okay.
Why is it not okay?
This is not allowed. This is illegal.
Why?
That's illegal.
Ding dong, your opinion is wrong.
Okay, everybody listening, Andrew apparently has issues with sexuality in media.
Yeah.
He's finding himself right now.
That's what this is, Lucas.
Yeah. Andrew's super sex negative. Probably not even a feminist. Like all the people playing this game.
Yeah. Are you a feminist? Do you want more women empowerment? Then play HuniePop, the game where you click to make women take off their clothes. It's fucking awful. The way that they look at you, it fucking scares me, man.
Well, how?
They look like
Lucas is always forced to go to bat.
You're so willing, Lucas.
I'm not. I mean, okay, I will say that I think the original HuniePop is maybe one of the most successful and, I don't know, like, easiest gateway into the world of adult games.
Okay, Lucas, now explain why that's good.
Well, I'm not saying that that's good. I just don't understand why you think it's intrinsically bad.
They look like children. They look like children with huge tits. It's terrifying.
To me, that's how all anime people look.
Yes.
By the way, though, so
yes.
Okay.
You're getting it now, Ryan.
But you've watched anime, Andrew, and you like that animation style. I kind of hate it.
I do not like that animation style.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. I could have swore.
I mean,
you watch like Dragon Ball Z and shit.
I've seen 2 anime that I've liked.
I mean, that's 2 more than me.
You liked Avatar.
Me?
That's not not an anime.
Oh, Andrew.
Andrew.
Wow.
Come on.
No.
Avatar's not an anime.
It's not.
Uh-oh.
We've been here before, guys.
Hot button.
It's a cartoon. They're different.
But Cory in the House is an anime.
What?
It's the meme.
Oh.
The best anime is Cory in the House.
We've had this exact conversation before. We have on the podcast. We've had this exact conversation, and Ryan brought up Cory in the House being an anime. There's a goddamn glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah. Have you guys ever listened to the podcast and then like someone says something and you want to react to it, and then you yourself reacts to it exactly how you in your head were going to react to it, and you're like, ah, shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're all just chemicals, just chemical reactions, and we're all pre-scripted. Oh, man, free will's a lie.
I think that's a bit of a stretch when listening to a conversation that you already had, reacting the same way that you did when you had that conversation.
I've completely forgotten conversations and re-listened to old episodes, and Lucas will say something and I'm like, nah, it's stupid. And then I hear myself go, nah, it's stupid. And I'm like, God damn it.
Because that's something he would say. If someone brought up a multiple choice questionnaire of like, Lucas says some weeb shit. Ryan says, A, that's stupid. B, ding dong, your opinion is wrong. C, clap, clap, clap. D, all of the above. Like, those are the
I feel
options.
like that started out as a dig to me, and by the end of it was a dig to Ryan.
Yeah, wow. Andrew's on his
2 for 1.
his golden throne of being original and creative, but also liking the right things and having the correct opinions.
You put a titty game in front of him, and this is just what he melts down to.
This is just my ones and zeros.
J'accuse. Yeah, and then Andrew's response is A, get meta, or B, insult everyone.
Those are the only 2.
Yeah,
I don't even have 3 options.
Yeah, it's the meme of that guy wiping his head with the 2 buttons. Insult everyone or get meta.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that did make the top 50.
There's so many that should have been there. God.
Yeah, damn.
What are you doing, memers?
Next news item, developer WayForward released a patch that changes the disappointing ending to River City Girls.
I'm the only one that thinks it's really pathetic when a game company admits how bad it was by doing this shit.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And, like, I am torn because when I experience a piece of media, I want to experience the vision the people behind it had for it. And this is directly antithetical to that. But I also hated the fucking original ending to this game. So, yay, but don't make this a broad trend, I guess?
I mean, can you imagine if Game of Thrones had caved and be like, we're gonna refilm the final episode?
Yeah, that would have fixed everything. Refilming just the final episode.
We're gonna refilm the final 4 seasons.
That's honestly what it would take.
Why does Arya look so old now? Oh, there was a time skip.
Just for the sake of character age, they like go through a 4-year time skip where literally nothing happens. Like all the wars just pause.
You just
and like,
have some weird moment. Jon Snow's like,
it's been 4 years.
The wildlings still haven't attacked. It's been 4 years.
I actually
Sansa's like, why am I still in King's Landing?
I actually wouldn't be shocked if they had enough footage of each of those actors at those ages they were in the show to do a pretty decent de-aging effect.
Creepy.
Then they can all look like Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Fucking awful.
We'll finally get that Irishman Game of Thrones crossover that everyone's been demanding. And I would make a joke there, but I haven't seen The Irishman. So
it's okay. You don't have to.
Up to you. Up to you, Andrew. Andrew, you be Robert De Niro's character, and I'll be Jon Snow. Hey. No, you do the joke.
And you know, I just, you know, sometimes you gotta, you just, you know, sometimes. Ryan, say your line.
What's my fucking line? Whose line is it anyway?
You guys haven't seen the movie, so you didn't understand that reference.
Yeah, I really...
He stutters a lot. He kind of trips over his words a lot.
I mean, I got that, yeah. It sounds like something that makes sense.
That kind of fits within the movie's general deconstructing gangster tropes theme, I guess. Okay.
What's his character's name again?
The Irishman.
Irishman. Are we in Game of Thrones?
Are we in Game of Thrones?
Are we in your universe? Have I transferred like Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse? Who's at home here?
Okay, so we were going to drive up through Pittsburgh, and then we were going to take, you know, the belt line west down towards Columbus, and somewhere along the way we ended up in Dorne. And Al Pacino had to stop and get money from this guy. And then he asked me to kill him, and I was like, you got orders, and then, you know, you got your orders, and you can't do nothing about it. And then so I made him dug his own grave, and then I shot him. I
shot a man too, Mance Raider.
Jesus.
But that was different. This one broad was telling me that she had the bad pussy, and I'm just kind of what?
No.
What? Who
Oh, that was your Robert De Niro.
Wait. What was that, Lucas?
It was a bad enough Robert De Niro that I wasn't sure if it was just a bad Jon Snow.
Yes, that was a bad Jon Snow, but it was also an excellent Joe Pesci.
Oh.
Was it?
Yes.
Methinks he doth protest too much. When you have to explain.
What are we doing?
Yeah, this is a podcast. Andrew, I picture you doing your Robert De Niro with your eyes squinted, and if you weren't, it's not a true Robert De Niro.
No, my eyes were squinted and I made the biggest frown that I could. Just the biggest exaggerated frown.
Like you just ate a Warheads candy. Just hardcore into the De Niro impression.
It's exactly right.
It's pretty accurate. Oh, God. And I just looked like I knew, or I had no idea what the fuck I was doing.
They nominated
And that's how you
that
do
movie
it, Jon
for
Snow.
Best Picture.
They did.
It has a decent shot of winning.
And for best CGI.
Do we want to talk about the Oscar noms? Like, I didn't put it on here, but like...
Yeah, it can be in the film.
Yeah.
You can do it in
I think that was this week, maybe, right? Or was it next? I don't know. Or last.
It may have been like right before we did the last podcast.
Oh, the times. Nah, they're not even changing. They're just going fast.
They still don't have a host, right?
Yeah, no, they're doing no host again.
No host.
Get the fucking Muppets already. Come on.
Sure.
It worked for the video game awards.
Right?
Sure. All right. There's the list of nominations. We can talk about that after. I don't know why this is TV. This is actually kind of more film. But anyway.
Little column A, little column B. Disney is dropping Fox from 20th Century Fox and Fox Searchlight to avoid association with the hate-mongery cable news network.
Also to drop any association with the company Fox, which still exists.
Which is
Also
different.
true.
So it is kind of weird to have companies named after another company in your company.
Yeah.
But that's the 21st century conglomeration strategies at work. Also, 20th Century was already its own company back in the 30s. They can just take that old logo. They don't even have to do any brand work on it.
So you're saying Disney is pretty hypocritical when it comes to copyright law?
What? I think all their arguments are valid and logical.
Disney, give us money.
Mickey Mouse should never be in the public domain.
He should never die.
Imagine what they could do once he enters the public domain.
Oh.
That's being prevented.
The chaos.
Oh, man.
Then
I shudder to think.
Then every piece of media could be Scoob and Shag.
Good God. I had somehow wiped that from my brain.
That exists. But a lot of media already does that shit.
Right?
Like South Park has been making fun of that for 15 years now. Like, nothing's gonna fucking change. Just let it happen, Disney. Just let it happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Blue, who do you guys think is gonna win the main ones in the Oscars this year?
I think that...
I don't know. It's actually a pretty big toss-up, I think, this year.
That's fair.
I've seen more of these movies than I usually do. I'm kind of proud of myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen a pretty big chunk of the Best Picture ones, actually.
Do we want to start with Best Picture?
Might as well.
That's a big one.
One that matters.
None
None of the others
None of them matter.
Just this
None
one.
of this one doesn't matter either.
I am
Oh, this
scrolling down to Best Picture on mine. Do either of you guys want to go through it quick?
It's right at the top.
Yeah. You don't have
You
to...
might have scrolled past it.
Oh, wait, which website are
It's
you
the
guys
very
looking
first
at?
one.
The one that he
The one
linked.
that I clicked. Hollywood Reporter?
Did you send the link in the Google chat, or did you just
it's on the
message it
planning
to
doc.
Andrew?
No, it's
It's on the planning doc
yeah.
under film.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
All right, let's go down the old category of Best Motion Picture nominees for the Oscars 2020. We got Ford versus Ferrari. We got The Irishman. We got Jojo Rabbit. We got Joker. Little Women, L-I-L, women.
Nope.
Marriage Story. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. 1917 and Parasite.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Parasite, Ryan?
No, I could still. It's in a theater, and
I would recommend.
try to do it. But
not-
I have seen... I just watched Jojo Rabbit today, actually.
Oh.
And I've seen Joker, and I've seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I've seen 1917. So if I add Parasite, I'll have seen a majority of them, which is good considering how few movies I'd seen, starting with the January or with the top tens.
I've seen The Irishman, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 1917, and Parasite.
I feel like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is definitely Tarantino's most Oscar baity movie to date, but I don't know. I feel like maybe... Well, no, The Irishman was kind of out too, since the Academy does not like Netflix.
Yeah, but it's a Scorsese.
Same for Marriage Story.
It's a Scorsese movie, and it's got literally all of the cast.
The Rat Pack.
Yeah, the fucking Rat Pack.
I definitely think Parasite for best international film. So maybe...
Yeah, that's gonna fuck it over. Just like when an animated movie gets nominated for Best Picture. It's
right.
Like, well, you got your own categories, so that's going to be tough.
So then that kind of leaves 1917, Little Women, Joker I think is out because superhero movie, and Jojo Rabbit, which I'm pretty sure was too weird, and 4v Ferrari, which I think the Academy is going to write off as a car movie.
Yeah, I'd put it as a 2-horse race between Hollywood and 1917.
Yeah.
But it could also just be a complete mess. Like, they're not big-time favorites. It could honestly go any way.
What did I hear? Joker has like 11 nominations. Like,
yeah. Led the way.
Anything could happen, yeah.
I think 1917 is going to win. I think Parasite was a better movie. Like, if I had to choose all of these, I would choose Parasite. But 1917 was really good. Like, it was really good. And I think it won the Producers Guild Award, which...
Won the Golden Globe.
Won a Golden Globe. But it won something like
drama.
2 or 3 nights ago where they said like 60% of the winners of that award win Best Picture at the Oscars.
I mean, there's like 10 to 15 award shows before the Oscars, and all of them...
I know, there's a lot.
Can claim blank to blank wins blank to blank at the time at the Oscar, so we're irrelevant.
I mean, I think it should be either 1917 or Parasite. I know there's a couple, like The Irishman and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood are very Oscar baity, but yeah, we'll see.
The thing.
We're just people that talk on a podcast.
I would say Johansson, Best Actress for Marriage Story, but again, Netflix, so...
Never know. Once again, it might be a blue blood name saving it. Johansson's also double nominated, though.
That's true.
So,
I would put the safe bet as Saoirse Ronan in Little Women. I've heard nothing but good things about that movie and its performers.
Yeah.
You guys got any hot picks for actor?
It's too early for me.
Okay.
I've only seen one of these movies, so...
I have seen 2 of them. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix was pretty good. So maybe. But probably not enough.
I think Tom Hanks has Best Supporting Actor locked up for Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
That's a weird nomination for me.
You think so? Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just because it's Tom Hanks, but I didn't hear anything about that movie, really.
I don't know. Al Pacino was pretty good as... Checks notes. Jimmy Hoffa.
Does Quentin Tarantino have a Best Director award yet?
Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does.
Okay.
Blup, blup, blup.
Because if not, I would say he is the lock for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It is possible. Hollywood's not great on Quentin Tarantino right now, though.
Yeah.
So, you never know. No. He has been nominated, but has never won. He's won Best Writing twice, but has not ever won directing. He was nominated for Pulp Fiction and for Inglourious Bastards and for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood now. So there you go. Never know.
All right. I think that will take us into the meme corner.
The memes.
Do we have any? Do we have any memes, gentlemen?
Caitlin Bennett is back.
Is that a meme?
No, she is a meme. She's a dangerous meme, but she's a meme.
There was the one guy at the sign at the march with the sign at the march today. It said something like "Gun control is Jim Crow" or something like that.
Saw that.
People have definitely been photoshopping a lot of stuff onto that sign. That's a hot off the press meme.
Yeah,
you heard it here
that is
first,
a developing
folks.
Meme. Yeah, you heard about this meme here first on a visual, very visual medium that is podcasting.
Okay, so imagine, right? There's a guy. He's got a big old gun, and he's surrounded by a bunch of other people with big old guns, and he's holding up a sign, and it says, "Gun control is Jim Crow." But you can put anything on that sign that you want, make it funny.
Yeah.
Just use Photoshop.
He also has like Under Armour on, if I remember right. Like, there's a lot of people that look like they came more out of like a Bass Pro Shop, like military surplus store. It was a weird march.
I saw one photo of, it was 6 guys all standing like they were, like at attention, and first 5 going left to right are in like full battle gear. They all have an AR. They got magazines strapped to their chest over top of body armor. They're wearing face masks. They've got helmets on. The helmets have night vision goggles attached to them. And then the one guy on the far right is wearing blaze orange camo and just like a Carhartt hat. And he has no gun and he's just smiling. He looks like a guy that they fucking picked up on the side of the road.
Yeah.
I just imagine like, Jim, you're supposed to bring your gun. He's like, I can't bring my gun. You're like, but it's a gun right rally. Yeah, but the governor said we're not supposed to. That's the whole fucking point, Jim.
Yes. I don't know if that's a meme.
I'm scared.
If that isn't going to be a theme for memes in 2020, I don't know what is. I also know that we should probably get into the breakout soon because we got a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, millennials are too depressed to be scared. You can't be scared of something if you want to die.
What's the worst thing that can happen? I die? I'm not afraid of that.
Yeah. Sounds great. Where do I lose?
Wide scale impending doom. Yes, Daddy, please.
Yes. What was breaking out?
Should I start?
Please do.
It's up to you, man.
Uncut Gems is a fucking incredible movie. And it is a travesty that it didn't get any Oscar representation whatsoever. Have you guys heard this movie or even seen it yet?
I've heard of it. Have not seen it.
I mean, heard of it. Wanted to see it. It's on Netflix. I might give it a shot someday.
It's kind of Anxiety the movie. Where...
sounds like I'd hate it.
Yep. But also in a way that you can also acknowledge that it's really good. Adam Sandler is fucking phenomenal in this movie, and I won't get too into the details since it's very much a series of I can't believe that's what happened next But essentially, Adam Sandler is playing a character that is just, he does in a lot of movies, where he is a guy who is just a colossal fuck up with a lot of obvious problems in his personal life and a lot of issues with his relationships, except there is no redeeming quality to make up for all of that. He's not an asshole with a heart of gold in this movie. He is just an Adam Sandler style asshole, and it works really fucking well.
So everyone's talking about how much anxiety it is, and for me, I haven't felt anxious in a movie unless like a kid or a dog is in jeopardy. And I don't know, I haven't seen anything to indicate that that's the case in this movie. Maybe there is.
Yeah, there's a scene in the movie where and I'm hesitant to call these characters the bad guys because the movie kind of goes out of its way to show how they are justified in their actions, but there is definitely a scene in the movie where it seems like they are going to just massacre Adam Sandler's entire family, including his young children.
There you go.
Like, just imagine, like, the consequences for your worst actions appearing in what is the most kind of family-friendly and seemingly safe environment. Yeah. It's really good, and I would say that the character writing is superb. The movie is always pushed forward by what the conclusions and actions the characters would organically come to, and not kind of the narrative or point that the movie wants to make. Also, Kevin Grant is in this, and kind of the movie's moral compass.
You mean Kevin Garnett?
Kevin Garnett, damn it. I was 3 a.m. I apologize.
I was about to Google Kevin Grant.
Kevin Garnett. No, Kevin Garnett is in this movie, and he has kind of the moral compass, and it's really good.
I mean, Kevin Garnett probably can't play like evil yet. Like, he might be developing as an actor or something, but he's probably not going to be a great villain quite yet.
What if he was, though? What if his first role, he just plays the villain perfectly?
Yeah, he's just nonchalantly, like, just the personification of evil.
Like, fuck,
you love to hate him.
Is Kevin Garnett a murderer?
Yeah, that would be most people's first thought.
Just a red
if
flag.
He did that too well. They're like,
Like, Kevin Garnett goes to his acting class, like, okay, Kevin, so you're a serial killer. Go. Just on fire, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It would be dangerous for a relatively unknown public figure to play a bad guy immediately. Like, right. Michael Cera can play a bad guy and this is the end because everyone knows that's not what he's really like.
Right.
But like, if someone who like is relatively private comes out playing a bad guy, might not get that same benefit of the doubt.
Oh shit, haven't seen Tobey Maguire in a while. Is this just what he's like now? And then the only other thing I'll say about Uncut Gems before we move on is that for a lot of the character actors in the movie, I'm pretty sure they just picked people up off the streets of New York. And that works really well.
Yeah.
What do you guys got?
I saw The Witcher on Netflix.
Did you toss a coin to your Witcher?
Toss a coin to your Witcher. Oh, Valley of Plenty. It's catchy. I really enjoyed The Witcher. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was pretty good. It's kind of disorienting because I feel like they didn't attempt to really build the world. They just kind of threw you in it. And there's a lot of shit that kind of just happens. You're like, what the fuck? What is going on? And they did it.
What? I don't want to ruin your train of thought. I watched the first 3 episodes, I think. I kind of disagree. I was like, this is so slow. Like, just do some shit.
No. I don't.
Like,
I don't.
the characters are just talking about everything.
I don't mean that.
Frustrating.
I don't mean that like the plot moves really quickly. I mean like there's just stuff that happens, and
it doesn't though. That's my main concern. Is like they're talking about all this badass stuff. Oh, this person. Oh, they were such a badass. Here, let me describe for 20 minutes how bad it would be if this were to happen, and like. Then there's just like 1 minute of it happening, you know. Like, I was not the biggest fan of the first 2 episodes. It lost me.
I don't know if that's how I would describe it.
That's fair.
We can disagree. I definitely feel like the later episodes. Like I know that this is good.
Does it get good?
No, I'm not gonna say like you didn't give it a chance. Like it comes into its own in the second half.
Yeah.
I feel like the best episodes of the show are, I want to say like episode like 4, 5, and 6 or something. I'm trying to remember which episode is which, but I feel like the best episodes are in the second half.
I'm going to put my foot down and say that I have used my It Gets Good pass on Succession this year, and I'm not prepared to wait for a show to get good for the rest of the year.
That's fine.
Gonna once a year I'm gonna exercise that pass, and it was on Succession, and I do agree it did get good. Yeah.
I think you guys would agree that it takes a while for Mindhunter to come into its own.
No.
No? Okay.
I never thought that. No, I thought episode 2 was when like it became the real show. Like, I really enjoyed episode 1.
It just was kind of
but that's not what the show was about. Yeah.
Okay.
And then episode 2, I thought was like what the show was actually going to be, and I liked both of them equally, honestly.
Fair.
So I was into it from the beginning.
What I was referring to when I said like there's stuff that happens in The Witcher that I just don't understand because it just kind of happened. Like, there's a moment in the show where like the bad guys are looking for the girl, you know, the magic girl, whatever, and they like find her dead grandma, and like this wizard looking dude like walks up and just slices off a part of her arm. She's dead. He eats it, and then someone walks up and stabs him in the stomach and rips his guts out, and then someone looks at it and they're like, her granddaughter is in Brooklyn Forest. I'm like, what?
That's how that works, Andrew. Roll with it, man.
And then, like, there's this...
You're in this universe now.
There's this dude that walks in at a different point into, like, the throne room. They're, like, trying to, like, figure out who's going to marry the princess or whatever. And this dude's like, I call the law of surprise. And then everyone just freaks out and starts killing each other. That's the kind of stuff I'm referring to. Like, they explain it later, but there's stuff that happens, and it's just, like, there's no lead up to it. It just takes me a second to figure it out. I thought the show was pretty enjoyable. I liked it a lot. Jade also liked it. We watched it together. I was kind of surprised that she would like it, but here we are.
You should play Witcher 3. I think it's on sale everywhere now because of the show.
I bought it on Switch.
The premier gaming platform.
I wanted another game on my Switch, but Lucas, you said you were going to watch The Witcher. I don't know if you ever did.
No. I went to Disney World instead. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Normie.
I'm sorry. Should I jump right into that, or Ryan? Do you got something to fire off?
I watched Jojo Rabbit. It was pretty good. I wanted it to be funnier, I think, which is weird to say about a movie about the Hitler Youth and Hitler and all that stuff. But it was good. It was fine.
Good.
No issues.
Oh.
Also, I've been watching Succession, finally catching up, and guess what, guys? It gets good. You gotta hit episode 6. I literally went on IMDb to look at like the episode by episode rating to see when it quote unquote actually got good, because I'd seen a bunch of comments that it gets good, and I'm like, what point does it get good? Because I'm in episode 4 and it's not good. And then I saw episode 6 was way higher rated than 1 through 5, and I was like, apparently episode 6. So I stuck around until episode 6, and then I was like, it does indeed get good. And then 7, 8, and 9 just kept getting better and better, and I was like, all right, Well, now we're here. It took a while.
In terms of the it gets good and how you don't want to use your second get good pass on The Witcher.
There is no second get good pass.
You don't.
It doesn't exist.
Okay, so you've already used your get good pass. You're not gonna keep watching The Witcher. I understand because when we finished the show, Jade and I remember now, and I also remember how it was a weird thing for me to say. Jade was like, "What did you think?" I'm like, "Oh, I liked it a lot. What did you think?" And she's like, "Yeah, I liked it too. I can't wait for season 2." Something along those lines. And then I said, for no explicable reason, I don't think Ryan would like this show.
Yeah. Ian, I don't think he particularly liked it either. He was the one that started it. So, there is that. Also, I just want to throw out a quick shout out. It sounds like The Watchmen is over.
Yeah.
Really?
Sounds like they're not going to do any more Watchmen.
Like,
one season and done.
Yeah.
Made their point.
Apparently, because Lindelof said that he was done with the series and he was fine with HBO moving forward without him, but HBO decided not to.
So, I mean, you finished it. Was it like a cliffhanger where like something should have come after story-wise, or was it like
it left me wanting more?
Yeah,
but like the story was done.
Yeah, it was complete. Like we could all easily surmise, but I just wanted more because I really enjoyed it.
Huh?
I mean that.
But in a different way from Chernobyl, maybe. It felt like season 2 was right around the corner, whereas Chernobyl was like, all right, we're done here. Like, there's not going to be another nuclear disaster with the same characters. Like,
that was very much the original Watchmen comic too. So based on this trend, in 30 years, we're gonna get Watchmen season 2.
Yeah. Does that make you guys want to watch it more or less?
I don't
there's
know.
No more.
Makes me want to watch it more.
It kind of makes me want to watch it less.
If I know the exact time commitment for this, then that makes it easier.
It's just 10 hours or 8 hours. 10, 8? I don't remember how many episodes. And then you're done. And it's good, guys. I will say it's good.
Ryan, would you watch a spin-off focusing entirely on Lube Man?
I love how that's broken into the people who haven't watched the show. We already know who Lube Man is. They released ancillary documents on the show's website just for fun, and they revealed who Lube Man was. And also, if you thought about it, it really could only be one person. And if either of you end up watching the show, I'm curious who you think Lube Man is, because I thought it was pretty obvious.
Okay.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a moment in the show where Sister Knight is doing some sketchy stuff and someone was following her and she realizes it and she turns around and it's just this guy in a white morph suit, like not looking like a superhero at all. He just like runs away kind of fast, but not really. Like she's still kind of catching up with him. And then after a while, they approach the end of a street and he pulls out these like, at Chinese buffets, the like squeeze bottles full of sauces and stuff. And he pulls them out of nowhere and just starts spraying them on his back. And then quickly like goes into a baseball slide and slides into a sewer like drain, storm drain. and makes his escape. And he has been known affectionately as Lube Man ever since. And the fandom appreciates Lube Man just as much as Sister Knight and Dr. Manhattan and all the other characters.
Wait, is his name not actually Lube Man?
He doesn't have a name. He's just a dude that showed up for like 2 minutes in the show. But everyone's like, wait, what the fuck? Is this Lube Man? So, there you go. That is the Ballad of Lube Man.
That was also a very good sell right there, Ryan. Yeah.
Well, that's legitimately all the time he's on the show. Like, that is his only appearance.
Oh.
One and done. So, yeah.
Should I talk about Disney next? Or, Andrew, do you also want to talk about Disney, but like how you are all the Jedi?
I don't want to say much about this because I don't want to talk about it. I saw the new Star Wars movie. Yes, it was a month ago. And then I saw it again. because I saw it. I got free tickets from work. They like did a raffle thing. They're like, hey, free tickets to the Star Wars movie. Like the day it comes out, you get free soda, free popcorn. We rented out the whole fucking theater. I'm like, awesome. I go and I watch it. I have an opinion of it. And then, like, this was right around the holidays. I go home for the holidays, and like the day after Christmas, my mom and my sister are like, we have to go see Star Wars. I'm like, okay. And they're like, you have to come with us because we've seen every Star Wars movie together.
No, they didn't.
Well, I mean, all the ones where we were alive.
I was gonna say you weren't even alive for the quote unquote good ones.
All the ones that we were alive when they came out in theaters, we saw them. And we saw it again for the second time, and my opinion changed a little bit. Not like it went from good to bad or bad to good, but like I did have a different opinion of it. When I first saw it, my opinion was, this is actually not that bad of a Star Wars movie. The first 30 to 45 minutes is completely nonsensical. Utter trash, does not belong to be displayed on a movie screen. And the rest is actually okay. Except for like the super cheesy ending. So like the middle hour and a half is pretty okay. And then I watched it the second time and I'm like, nope, it's not. It's all bad.
It's all bad. The whole series is bad.
I disagree.
Is it any coincidence that once you guys clear the nostalgia beam, you start thinking they're not
Ryan,
good?
This is different. This movie is a different kind of bad. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, that's crazy. What? Star Wars are not making sense?
It literally took The Last Jedi, which I know that Star Wars is not always good. I liked The Last Jedi a lot. I really did. This movie literally, and that's what the first 30 to 45 minutes is, erasing that movie like it never fucking happened. Because
people generally didn't like it.
I don't know why, though.
I don't think people generally didn't like it. I think some piss babies online didn't like it, and they were so loud that they made it seem like that was the average opinion.
I'm going to have to call Ian in right now.
My opinion of the movie is that J.J. Abrams made the first movie, had an idea of where he wanted it to go. Rian Johnson took over for the second movie and was like, your ideas are bad, and then went in a different direction. And then J.J. Abrams, instead of just kind of rolling with that and delivering those messages and continuing on with that story, went, no, even though I didn't want to make the other two movies, I'm going to make this third movie like it just continued on in place of the second movie. And it's bad. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And also, there's literally a moment where Rose, the character who was introduced in the second movie, who everyone hated because she was not super skinny and was Asian.
Don't say everyone.
No, I mean, the people that like were loud and shitty about the movie.
Okay.
They're like, hey, Rose, we're going to go do the plot. Are you coming with? And she's like, nah. And they're like, okay, see you at the end of the movie.
Yeah. Ian talked about that.
God damn it.
Guys, you're taking the movies too seriously. That's my only thing that I'll say. Like, because either they're not good, or they're not meant to be taken too seriously, and they're meant to be more like turn off your brain and enjoy type movies.
But I tried to do that.
You can't have both.
But so I did turn off my brain the first time that I watched it, and you liked it. Yeah, and then I saw it for the second time, and it burned through. No, this
exactly.
I've seen the other Star Wars movies multiple times, each one. This is different.
Yeah, but you were probably a kid, and you were like, oh, you know what? I like it. Brings back feelings of being a kid.
I know. Okay,
I'm going to push back that there is. Okay, go ahead.
The Force Awakens is not a good movie. I know that, but it was fun. No, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly my point.
No, but it was fun. This wasn't fun. This was just a bad movie.
I think that every Star Wars movie is a bad movie if you really get like into a film analysis.
I understand,
like, critical
Ryan,
standpoint.
but this was bad as a Star Wars movie. I mean, ignoring the filmmaking aspect of it, this did a lot of stuff that was bad and didn't make sense.
Sure.
All right, we can go back and forth on this for a while, but we still got some other stuff to talk about. Andrew, to close, would you rank it at the bottom of Star Wars media that you've seen, or what does it fall between?
Like, including what? Like, all 9 movies, or?
Yeah, including the prequels. Including episode 4?
Wait.
Sorry, episode 1. Episode 1.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
I misspoke. Including the 4th installment. Episode 1, which is fucking dumb. Anyway.
I would say that this is the 3rd worst Star Wars movie. I would say that Revenge of the Sith is better than this movie.
Ooh.
That's not an unpopular opinion.
But still better than Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones is that's something else.
Is that even canon?
Attack of the Clones, yeah.
It is, but it shouldn't be.
Yeah. Then they kind of just like shit on the mythology.
It's
the first
such
3.
a fucking bad movie. Attack of the Clones is so bad.
I will say, if I had to plot the movies, yes, like episode 3 was definitely a step up from 1 and 2. Still not good, but like they were relatively able to course correct because boy.
Revenge of the Sith is okay. Like it's definitely not good, but it is not as bad as the other ones.
Well, it delivers on what it's supposed to do. Once again, contributing to my theory. Cool lightsaber fights and like maybe one twist, you know?
Also and I know none of Star Wars works when you like think about a movie within the context of other movies, but it's my understanding after episode 9 now that there was a point in the series where Palpatine was immortal, had a robot army, and also a clone army. And then instead of just being like, okay, I'm just going to take over everything now, it's like, nope, got to keep this charade going. They got to elect me the head of the Senate for some reason.
Luke's and I had this conversation before, and I like found myself arguing with him about why that part of the plot did make sense. And then I just kind of like caught myself. And I was like, how did I get here? Andrew, what are you doing?
Yeah, what have I become?
Did you go to Galaxy's Edge, Lucas?
I did not go to Galaxy's Edge. I tried to get a fast pass for it, but it was booked out. It had been booked out like 2 weeks in advance.
Damn.
So instead, I bummed around
You
Epcot.
couldn't spend $25 on a drink and $250 on a lightsaber.
Yeah, wait, you bummed around Epcot?
Yeah.
Like the whole day?
Like 5 or 6 hours.
If you're gonna just bum around, like do it at Epcot. Hell yeah.
Thank you, Andrew.
You didn't want to like go on any rides or do anything?
Went on Soarin'. I don't know. I thought the Epcot like multicultural or international cultural stuff was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's the best.
Okay.
Eh. Got some good Chinese food. Tried some Chinese beer.
I got served sake at 16 in Epcot.
Hell yeah!
I was on a class trip. I didn't know what it was. I had to.
It might feel like a different world, but you are still in Florida at Disney World. Yeah, it was cool. I don't know, I'm not a big Disney guy, so I feel like that part of this work trip was definitely lost on me. But one other weird takeaway I'll have is that pretty much everyone, I wouldn't say, okay, like half of everyone attending Epcot that day was wearing some kind of branded shirt. And maybe half of that half was wearing Disney stuff, but then the other half was wearing like, also Disney stuff, but not originally Disney stuff, like stuff with The Simpsons on it, or stuff with Sonic the Hedgehog, or My Hero Academia, and it's like...
Wait, that stuff is Disney?
No, oh. I'm just kind of taking in how fashion now is just for a lot of people, just like branded media. This is a t-shirt that has a thing I like on it, so I'm going to wear it around. I think that's odd. Ryan, what are you checking out? What else you got?
I was going to say Succession and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I guess.
You've been checking out JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
No, Jojo Rabbit.
Damn it!
Which also, at one point, they did say, like, JoJo, you're going on an adventure. And I was like, is that a JoJo reference?
Before you ask, yes, this is a JoJo's reference.
Absolutely, it crossed my mind.
Have you both seen 1917 and Knives Out?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then I will just finish up by saying that, yep, I finished Pokemon Sword. I am now doing some of the post-game stuff, and yeah, good Pokemon game. I have no fucking clue why people were so upset about it. Like, I didn't feel like I was missing anything by there being fewer Pokemon, and now they are going to be adding them, and yeah, it's $30, I think, if you want to catch them in-game, but after the DLC is released, you can also just transfer them into your save file, which is how you caught a lot of Pokemon prior to Pokemon Sword and Shield, because there are too many fucking Pokemon now. I'm going to say that. Too many Pokemon.
Wait,
Good
so
game.
What's the DLC adding?
The DLC...
Just new Pokemon?
Yeah, the DLC, like old Pokemon, like 200 previous Pokemon that weren't in this game originally, but once the DLC comes out, if you pay $30, you can go to new areas in the game and catch them natively, or you can transfer them into the game without having to pay for the $30.
From a previous game that you own, or what? Exactly,
yeah.
But that's the only DLC. That's all it's doing.
I mean, new areas to explore, a couple of new characters. They're adding like regional variants of legendary Pokemon now, and Zapdos is a Doritos ostrich, and that's pretty great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, Ian hates it.
That tracks with him not liking The Last Jedi. He just doesn't like good stuff, I guess. Okay.
Fair enough.
So, Lucas,
what'd you guys think?
Have you seen 1917 and Knives Out, Lucas?
I have not, but I guess we're going into the group chat.
I thought Lucas had put those there, but now I see it's purple.
I decided to switch to purple so you would stop complaining about the red.
Oh, 2020 really is hitting different.
What did you do?
That's not your color.
This
is your color.
Racist.
No, that's your actual color. It's always been your color.
This is my color. This is the color that I've been using.
Okay, whatever. It's like a purpley.
It's
brown. It's
red
thing.
berry too.
Okay, whatever. It looks purpley brown.
So, 1917.
Yeah, can we talk about it?
Let's not talk about plot points in either movie.
I thought 1917 was just like World War One.
Yep, that's it.
No,
that's it.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Someone's got an appointment.
I got potatoes in the oven. I'll be right back.
Why should I see 1917, Ryan?
I don't know. It's good.
Oh.
The sheer scope of the movie is pretty audacious. The idea for making a war movie in real time in quote unquote one shot is just really, really aggressive. And whoever thought of it is a madman, but it worked out relatively well.
What, the one shot scheme?
Just the idea for the movie.
Yeah. Hey,
is
if anyone can do it, it's Roger Deakins.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I suppose. Yeah, it's good. I don't have much negative to say about either of these two movies, honestly. But I would give the slight edge to Knives Out in terms of which movie I liked more.
Well, Knives Out is an extremely fun movie.
Yeah.
1917
It is
is
a
not
blast.
supposed to be fun.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think Knives Out might lead to a resurgence of whodunit movies? I feel like that was a more popular genre until maybe like the 80s.
I think
Didn't they just do the Murder on the Orient Express and it flopped, or kind of?
I don't think it flopped. I thought it was
Did
I
it
thought
not
it was
flop?
supposed to do okay. It wasn't like a massive hit.
I also don't know if this movie did very well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it got nominated, or did it? No, it did get nominated.
No,
I don't know if it did.
it got nominated
couple
for best
noms.
screenplay.
Okay, sure.
Box office 266 million, budget 40 million.
That's pretty good. Oh yeah, Murder on the Orient Express actually did pretty well too.
Yeah,
Is Knives Out another movie that you can't really get into it without immediately spoiling everything?
I would. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
When you watch it, know that it's a whodunit. I think that would be fun.
Okay.
Because for me, I definitely was like, oh, this isn't a true whodunit pretty early on. And had that assumption for most of the movie. So I wasn't really trying to play along. But just like, know that it is a whodunit and you should be trying to play along.
Is it
If that makes sense.
okay. Is it as is it more character focused or actually solving this mystery with detective work focused?
It's a little of both.
Yeah, it's both,
All right.
definitely.
Okay.
There's a lot of interesting characters
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah. I thought the characters and the conversations were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
How
They were all very distinct, especially for all being part of like the same family. You knew immediately who they were. They did like in the very beginning of the movie, it's like a bunch of interviews with them. Kind of, it's almost documentary style because of like the way that it's framed and everything like that. And you know immediately who all the people are, like within their first couple sentences of talking.
Like, oh,
So
this is
they do.
this kind of guy, and this is the whatever
Yeah.
woman. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
How was Chris Evans playing against type?
He did pretty good.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't really actually playing against type, if you remember his old comedy roots.
Well-
like, he always did play, like, kind of the douchebag.
I
Like-
remember him in Scott
Yeah.
Pilgrim now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The Johnny Storm days.
Yep.
When we walked out, Jade was like, "Oh, it was just like Scott Pilgrim."
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, his character, not the movie, but
Sure.
also,
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
not exactly.
He was able to dust off an old friend, let's just say. he's great as
Everyone
that.
freaked
That
out
was a
over
very
his,
quaint description, Ryan. Thank you.
Everyone freaked out over
Yeah.
his sweater. Thought that was very special for
Wait,
some
what?
reason. Yeah, oh yeah, you didn't see that? Like
No.
everybody when the movie came out, they're like, "Oh my god, where can I get a sweater like this?" You're like, you mean like a crocheted white sweater? And everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be the next big thing." And then apparently, yeah,
Wait.
that started a resurgence of like the white kind of knit sweater, I guess.
Yeah, there's nothing...
No, there's
Fancy about-
not.
It's just this one still, he looks hot because he's Chris Evans.
They're like, "Oh god,
Like,
that pattern." It's just a
no,
fucking knit
there's
sweater.
nothing to do with the sweater.
Put Chris Evans in anything and he'll make it hot.
Honestly, yeah.
Huh?
Probably pull it off.
Chris Evans made a dirty jacket and a beanie hot in Snowpiercer.
Jesus Christ. When he's like emaciated.
Yeah.
Hot.
And then I know we're running a little long on time, but Packers lost yesterday.
Yeah.
We got off Mr. Bones' wild ride.
What?
It's an old meme from, I don't know, like the early 2000s. Do you not know the origins? So, Roller Coaster Tycoon, I think.
Mr. Bones.
Yeah.
Wild
It's
Ride. Know your meme.
I think it's a 4chan post or something in Roller Coaster Tycoon. They told a story about how they made a roller coaster that never ended called Mr. Bones' Wild Ride. And basically what it boiled down to is eventually, like, he was telling it like it was a horror story. And then in the end, it ended with, like, all the people screaming in unison, blood-curdlingly, I want to get off Mr. Bones' Wild Ride. Because in Roller Coaster Tycoon, it generates like little thought bubbles for the people. So every single person on the roller coaster had a thought bubble that said, I want to get off Mr. Bones' Wild Ride. And so now when you're on a wild ride, you say, I want to get off Mr. Bones' Wild Ride. And we got off Mr. Bones' Wild Ride.
A wild ride it was.
Yeah.
It would be really easy to say that the Packers suck, but in truth, that's how good the 49ers are.
They were definitely the better team.
Yeah.
It was pretty obvious. But
maybe I'm giving us a little cushioning, but I think the ways in which the 49ers excel is in direct counter to a lot of the Packers' biggest weaknesses, and they were just the team that was going to beat us.
It's not rocket science. Like, the 49ers looked at our team and they're like, oh, what does the defense do best? Rush the passer. You know how you get rid of rushing the passer? You don't pass the ball. Ever.
Yeah. They were better than us. Yeah. And it showed in the first week, and then people are like, oh, you can... We'll see. Like, it's hard to beat a team twice. And I'm like, well... Like, I think that this team is clearly better than us, and it was a terrible matchup. And maybe in Lambeau things might have been differently, but in their home, there was no way.
Who you guys got between the 49ers and the Chiefs at the Super Bowl?
I got the Chiefs.
I don't really know. We're going to see how it shakes out.
I think Mahomes definitely deserves a ring, but like
I don't know. It's his third year. It's not like he's like, oh, he's paid his dues.
Rising star.
Andy
That'd be a
Reid,
fun narrative.
Sure. Like, Andy Reid definitely deserves a Super Bowl.
I don't know. It would also help soften the blow of, oh yeah, Packers lost to the best team in the NFL this year. Nah.
Wait, what? That's a blow?
No, that would soften the blow of losing
if
yesterday.
The 49ers won?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck the 49ers.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no ill will towards the 49ers.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. We'll see who takes it.
I'm starting to get to that level of tired where it's kind of like you have that low-level feeling of maybe you're going to throw up.
Oh, Jesus, dude, get off the podcast.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a type of tired.
Have either of you guys ever been there, like when you're just physically and emotionally exhausted?
You know,
that it's
when
like...
you're so tired that you just get like really hot, bloody diarrhea.
I don't think you guys realize how much I dedicate, like, making sure that I get 8 hours of sleep a night. Like, that is literally the most important thing in my life. And I am almost never tired. It's great.
Can you, like, fall asleep on a dime now?
No, I literally can't. That's why it's so crucial. Like, if I didn't designate that much energy towards making sure I got 8 hours of sleep, I would only get, like, 6 every night. So it's very important. And I went through all of college, not really being too tired. And now I don't drink any coffee or anything like that. I just wake up and go to work, and I'm not tired. And it's great all day long.
I'm the perfect human.
I'm not the perfect human, by any means. But I'm not tired. The only time I've been sleep deprived recently was when I was forced to going to Europe, and I got stuck in Paris, and I didn't get any sleep on the flight over. So I was forced to stay awake for like 30 hours straight to try to reset my sleep schedule to European time. That was the only time. And I never got like a stomach ache or that I was gonna throw up or anything. So I think that's the wind down, Lucas.
I could go for some wine right now.
Oh God,
that's not what I said.
If you want to help us buy a bottle of wine and make this podcast even better, especially with the second drunk cast coming up, then be sure to check us out.
I was just going to say, I'm so tired that, I need to fall asleep right now, but even so, I still need a bottle of wine just to get there.
I mean, it's more like to just decompress after like your opinions, Andrew.
Just to numb myself.
Just to numb the idiocy I have to deal with.
Every time I hear you speak, Andrew, it's just this whining headache. Just this piercing shrill in my head, and the only thing that can get rid of that is 4 stiff drinks.
Have you guys heard of cluster headaches? They're like migraines, but some people kill themselves when they get them. Think of that. That's about where I'm at.
When you fucking talk, Andrew, it's just a thunderclap.
Eventually, I get to the point where it feels like I'm going to have a brain aneurysm, and I welcome it.
Like, if I could just die right now.
I just start, like really stressing those veins, like kind of flexing my head like you do.
Deadlifting,
just hoping it happens. Just hoping it happens.
I could try swallowing my tongue, but then people would know that I did it intentionally.
Yeah, that would be shame.
Right?
You wouldn't be able to be buried in a Catholic cemetery.
Andrew, everybody can get buried in a Catholic cemetery.
Oh!
That is a low bar to clear.
Burn on Catholic cemetery.
This post is brought to you by Lutheran Gang.
Hey, Lutheran Church, give us money.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
I'm not going to feel comfortable.
We're down with the... Well, how many was it? 48 feces?
I think we just lost our sponsorship.
Can you imagine the ad read?
Yeah. That'd be the world record for fastest lost sponsorship if we actually had it. It would have been like 10 seconds before we completely lost it.
And it's gone.
Shit, who are the opposite of Lutherans that we need to appeal to now?
Episcopalians.
Hey, Episcopalians.
Boy.
We just trashed those guys.
Yeah,
Hook
the
us
enemy
up.
of my enemy. What's an Episcopalian? Is that the Anglican church? Isn't that the Church of England, basically? Or no?
I don't know. It was just the first Christian word I could think of.
Yeah, it is. The Worldwide Anglican Communion. So it's the one that was Catholicism, except for divorce is cool because the king wanted to get divorced.
So the Irish Catholic would be more like the opposite of the Episcopalians.
Yep, I'm gonna. Huh?
The opposite.
Then who's the opposite?
They fought a guerrilla war.
I don't think you guys know what opposites are, by the way. Like, why are we not bringing like Satanism into this? Like, if we're talking about literal
you don't bring
opposites.
Satanism into anything, Ryan.
Not in this house.
Hey,
don't
Mormons,
you dare bring that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Don't you do it!
Oh man,
I'm gonna stick this knife in my leg.
who are our patrons? We need to make sure to shout them out. I know that much.
What were we talking about when we got to religion?
No.
If you want to
Lucas always
support
does
the
this,
podcast,
and he's not in a state.
if you want to support us on this podcast, then you can do so on our Patreon, www.patreon.com/voluntary_viewing, and then you will join the terrific likes of Sucky Badger and Sensual Richard Nixon, who we give our undying support to. Thank you so much for helping us get to a point where this podcast is now breaking even. That's great. Never thought we would get here, and got here after like a year. That's awesome. A year and a half.
Yeah.
In the black.
Also, keeping in the spirit of the podcast, I'm sure this has actually been brought up before, but a backslash is the other way. I think I might have said that before, because once again, time is a flat circle.
Is it /voluntary viewing?
Yeah, I mean, most people say slash. But yeah, you can say /, I'm assuming. The backslash is the one above the enter key.
So I've been sending all the people who want to give us money to the wrong...
They know what
That's
you're
not how
talking about.
URLs work. Yeah, they know what you mean. But it is wrong.
Oh, well. If you want to tell us how wrong we are, and also maybe hook us up with business opportunities, send us an email, voluntaryreviewing@gmail.com. You can also ask us questions there, and you can do all of those things if you send us a message through SoundCloud or the other platforms where this podcast is hosted. You should also be sure to follow this podcast on Twitter at V2_podcast. You'll get all updates regarding the podcasts on Twitter, and then you should follow me, Lucas DeRuyter, on Twitter, at Lucas DeRuyter, because I got some absolutely sizzling hot takes, and you're going to want to hear them.
Sizzle. Snake jazz?
It's just all hi-hat.
Alright, at the end.
See you all next week on the flippity flop.